Namaste beautiful people, welcome back to the YogaCandi YouTube channel. My name's Candice and I've prepared a how to do the splits video for you. Now don't put any pressure on yourself to be able to achieve the splits today. It's taken me years, so bear that in mind. It's just giving you the tools you need to be able to prepare your body to be able to open up enough for you so that you can maybe eventually get into them. So if you want an extra warm-up, just click the link at the top there and that's going to send you over to some sun salutations to get the juices flowing before you even begin today's class. But if you're ready, then have a couple of yoga blocks handy, or maybe even just one, that will be fine. A couple of stacked books or even a cushion will do the trick. The other thing is a yoga strap, a belt or a rolled up towel. This is just going to help with a couple of things and you'll find out later. So guys, let's start off in our downward facing dog. Come to your hands and knees, really press the palms into the ground, untuck the toes, make sure that your hands are at least shoulder distance apart. Your feet should be hip distance apart and we're going to send the hips up to the sky. Send that tailbone high up to the sky so that you're really stretching the back of the hamstrings. Suck in that lower abdomen and let's take this dog for a little walk just to start to allow the body to open up for us. Really press into the ground with all four corners of the hands and of the feet. When you're ready, become still, sending that tailbone so high to the sky, feeling the back of the hamstrings. You can either close your eyes or look directly between the legs or towards the navel. Let's engage our Ujjayi breath if you understand the Ujjayi breath. Otherwise, take nice deep inhales in and out of the nostrils throughout the whole practice today. But whenever you need to relieve the breath through the mouth, then feel free to do that. And guys, it's so important, please listen to your bodies. If anything feels painful today, please do ease out of it. Let's take our 3 breaths. One, suck in that belly. 2, push the shoulder blades apart. 3, send the tailbone to the sky. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up through the right leg. Lift that leg all the way to the sky for your 3-legged dog. You should feel an extra stretch at the back of this left leg now. Hold that right leg to the sky and start to create little pulses with that leg. Don't worry if you can't get it as high as me. Maybe you can get it higher. Start to pulse that leg and exhale down. Let's do the same on the other side, inhaling the left leg to the sky as high as you can and do little pulses. Suck in that lower abdomen. And release. Let's bring our knees down and take a little child's pose. Come up off of the hands, give them a little shake out. Extend the arms out in front of you and bring your forehead down to the ground. Take a moment. Now let's come back into our downward facing dog. Send the hips up to the sky. Walk the legs if you need to. And let's inhale the right leg to the sky once again. Open it up, bending through the right leg, sending those toes over towards the left side. Keep the arms nice and squared. And then exhale that knee to your chest, lift up, and then step that foot between your palms. Start to straighten through the right leg, having a nice little hamstring stretch here. At this point, don't go too low, just stay up on the fingertips. Be really light on those fingertips so you're not putting too much pressure on them. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release. Maybe you can come a little closer to the thigh. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, maybe you can go lower. Now bend through that front knee. Come up off of the fingers and it's come up into a high lunge. Lifting that back heel off the ground. Inhale the hands to the sky, look up. Exhale the hands back down and we're going to step forward. Try to keep that left leg off the ground just for a moment. Draw it into your chest and hug that left knee up towards the left armpit. Don't worry if you fall out of it, just come back into it. Exhale, release. We're going to come forward. So start to send that left leg behind you, still on your standing leg. Bring your fingertips down to the ground. Keep that left leg lifted. Don't worry if it's only 90-degree angle, keep it at that. And start to lean forward. Take your left fingertips out to the side, hold on to the right leg, and try to see if you can lift that left leg up. Keep it lifted, stretching at the back of this right leg, and release. Bring your feet together. Give that right leg a little shake out. Exhale out the mouth. Maybe bend and straighten through the legs here in your forward fold. Hold on to each elbow and just fold forward over the legs. Suck in that lower abdomen. Now let's interlace, staying in your forward fold, interlace your hands behind your back. Allow those arms to drop up and over your head for a nice stretch of the shoulders here. The closer you bring your palms together, the more intense the stretch will be, so you can always keep them apart, or you can even use your strap between your hands and allow that to fall up and over the head. Just taking a moment to release everything. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, plant the hand, step back to plank. Hold your plank for one deep inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, or the back bend of your choice. And send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side now. If you want to take a child's pose and pause the video, just to give yourself a breather, then feel free to do that. Release out the mouth. Take a nice deep inhale and lift the left leg to the sky. So high that you open up through that hip, bending the knee and allowing it to drape over towards the right side. Hold it for one more breath. Inhale, exhale, draw that knee to your chest, come on forward onto the hands and step between the palms. Come up onto your fingertips, so lightly on the fingertips that you're not putting much pressure. Send your hips back, straightening through this left leg, giving this hamstring a beautiful stretch here. Allow the heel at the back to be on the ground. This can also stretch out the right calf. Maybe that's feeling tight today. Release the mouth. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat and just stay nice and long through the spine. Try not to bend too forward at this point. Just give it a moment to open up for you. Now start on your exhales. Start to allow yourself to come a little closer towards that thigh. Every time you exhale, see if you can get a little deeper. Now let's start to bend through that front leg. Lift that heel off the ground on the back knee of the back leg, and inhale your hands up into your high lunge. Inhale the hands to the sky, look up. On your next exhale, we're going to step forward. Exhale, step forward. Keep that right leg off of the ground if you can. And draw the knee up towards the chest. Using your hands, pull that knee towards your right armpit. Don't worry if you lose your balance, just meet me back in the pose. Now exhale, start to lean forward. Try to use your balance. Don't allow the knee to drop, the leg to drop. If you do, don't worry. Start to lean forward, extending that right leg behind you. Bring your fingertips to the ground, lifting up through the right leg, lifting it to the sky. You're using most of the weight in your standing leg. Don't put any pressure on your hands. Take that left hand to the ankle of the left leg and extend the right arm so it's like a tripod helping you to balance. Lifting up through that right leg, lift it up to the sky. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release, bring it to meet the left leg and just relax. Bend and straighten through the legs, maybe give them a little walk out. Do whatever feels good here for your body. Perhaps even tilting from one side to the other. Tilting left and tilting right. Maybe walk your arms over towards the left side of the mat. Bending the left leg, straightening the right. And then straighten the left and bend the right and move your hands over to the right side of the mat. And come back to center. Bring the big toes to meet each other and about an inch between the heels. Interlace the hands your non-habitual way behind your back. Allow everything to hang forward in your forward fold, stretching out those shoulders and the hamstrings. Suck in that lower abdomen. Release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands on the ground and we're going to step back into our plank. Take an easy plank. If you want to drop the knees, feel free to do that. Zip your knees together. Suck in that lower abdomen. Push up and out of the shoulder blades. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, down chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Release through the mouth. Take a deep inhale through the nose again. Exhale, release through the mouth and stick your tongue out. Let's drop the knees back down for a wide-legged child's pose this time. So take your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your toes to touch each other behind you, and we're going to extend the arms out in front of us. Coming down, you can either take your chin and your chest down to the ground, or just take your forehead down and enjoy the release. Take one more deep inhale and exhale. And walk your hands back up to the body. Bring your knees together. We're going to come back to our downward facing dog. Hands out in front of you. Come up to your dog. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Lift it so high that you open the hip again, sending that knee into a bent position and over towards the left side. Keeping your shoulders squared with the front of the mat. Don't allow your shoulders to tilt. On your exhale, step that foot between your palms. Inhale, straighten that leg back for a nice bend over this right leg again. Don't put any pressures on your fingertips or on your palms or on your hands at all in this position. All of the strength should be in your legs. Now, place the hands a little bit firmer onto the ground. Step a little more forward and then straighten that leg. So your legs are a little further apart this time. You may feel it quite a lot in the back leg as well. Try to keep the back heel on the ground. If that's not possible, don't worry. Maybe it's just the makeup of your body. Maybe it's a flexibility thing and this will come with time. Start to lean over that front leg. Remember, no pressure in the hands at all. Now, let's bend that front knee and drop the back knee down to the ground. We're going to stretch out the psoas here on the left. So come up onto the front knee and allow the hips to sink really heavily down towards the ground and let gravity do its work here. This is where your strap will come in handy if you don't have the flexibility. What we're going to do is walk that right foot slightly over towards the right. We're going to come down onto this left elbow and hold onto the right ankle. What we want to try to do is to lift up through the back foot and maybe grab the toes and pull it to the body. If this is completely impossible for you, your strap will be really handy. Use your strap, wrap it around your foot, grab either side of that strap and use that to pull the leg towards you, getting deeper into the psoas stretch. But of course, if you can use your own hand and allow the hips to sink, pulling that foot closer and closer to the body, then do that instead. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And release that leg. Come back. Send your hips all the way back this time, extending through the front leg. Stretching out that hamstring once again, this time sending your toes up to the sky. Take an exhale and fold over the leg. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Now point the toes. We're going to do that again, but with the toes pointed. You can even place your palms directly onto the ground. So we're inhaling up, exhaling, folding. Inhale, up. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Suck in that lower belly. Inhale, up. Exhale and fold. Now come up, back up, lift, bend through the front knee, and we're going to lift that back knee off the ground and place the heel back onto the ground. So it's like that forward fold we were doing before with the front knee straight. Let's start to walk the toes forward. We're going to try for our split now. This is where your prop is going to come in handy, your block or your pillow or your book. Place it where this right hip is going to land. Start to walk your feet away from each other and then come onto the right heel and allow that leg to slide forward and the back toes to slide back until you come on down. If you need a couple of blocks under the hips to be able to do this so that they're more elevated, do that, or even just stay up on the palms or up on the fingertips. Wherever you are, we're going to start to play around in this position to get some extra flexibility and perhaps maybe get the full splits. Let's see how we do today. Some days my body allows me, some days it doesn't. So let's see how it goes today. Start to lean forward over that front leg if you can. If you can't, stay up on your fingertips. I'm going to lean forward and get an extra stretch here on the right side. You may feel it in the glute and everywhere. It's quite intense, guys. You can play around with engaging the foot and extending the foot, pointing the toes and flexing the toes. And then come on up. If anything's getting painful, come out of it. We're going to play around with bringing this left foot up off the ground, pulling it towards the body, again stretching a little more at the front of this quad. You can always use your strap if you can't reach it. Wrap it around the foot and do what you can. This is a really good position to play around with. If this is as far as you're going to go today, please just stay here. Don't even attempt the full split. Eventually it will come. Now if you feel ready, you can come up off of your block, lift up through the hands, step that back foot slightly forward and the front leg slightly back. Let's remove our prop. Using the strength of the leg, stay in this position. Now we're going to attempt to come all the way down into our split. So let's see how we get on. Come onto the heel of the front foot and allow everything to start sliding away from each other. And just maybe you come down into your full split. From your full split, you can either play around with, again, lifting the back leg, leaning over the front leg. Play around for as long as you want. I'm going to come out of mine. So to come out of it, place the hands onto the ground. Using the power of the hands, untuck the back toes. This is the safest way to come out without injuring any tendons or anything like that. Take your time and start to slide that front heel towards the body using the core, and then jump that back foot ever so slightly forward. So you're going to jump it a little forward, walk your hands forward, and we're going to bring that right foot down to the ground, back into our stretch again at the back of the leg. Bend through that leg, lift the heel at the back off the ground. We're going to come back up for our high lunge. Inhale, hands to the sky. Look up. Exhale, hands down. Let's step back into our plank. Take a nice easy plank if you want to drop the knees. And we're going to exhale all the way down to the belly this time. Inhale for a baby cobra, hands off the ground. And place the hands on the ground. Let's take a little breather, allow everything to be nice and heavy. Take your hands, take your head to the back of the hands, and release. Let's just take a moment here to come back into the body and to relax. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, release. Now plant the hands and we're going to send ourselves up and back into our downward facing dog. I'll meet you there. You may find your down dog is feeling pretty loose now, especially on the right side. Give your dog a little walk. And now let's inhale the left leg to the sky. So high that you start to open up through the hip. Sending that left leg over towards the right side. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, step that foot between your palms. And straighten through the front leg, back in for our lovely stretch here on the hamstring. You shouldn't be putting any pressure into those fingertips. Remember that, everybody. It's all about putting pressure on the legs, using the strength of the legs. If you need to slightly bend that front knee, remember that's always an option. Exhale, fold forward over that knee, over that leg. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Now let's walk this foot a little further away from the body so you've got an even wider stance now, only if that's possible. And start to lean forward over that knee once again. See if you can just hang heavy there. Now exhale, start to bend through the front knee. And we're going to drop the back knee down, back in for our psoas stretch on the right side this time. Come on up to the knee on the left. And let gravity do its work. Allow it to sink down to the ground. Release out of your mouth. Now let's come back in for a deeper stretch now. So we're going to open this left foot out to the side a little bit as if you're coming in for your lizard pose. Keep the knee facing up towards the sky. We're going to come down onto our right forearm and hold on to the left ankle. Now remember, your strap is handy here if you can't reach that back foot. If you can't even lift that back foot, don't worry. If you can, lift it up and pull it towards the body, getting even deeper into the psoas and into the quad. Opening it all up, ready for the splits. Now you may find this side of the body is more tough than the other side, or vice versa, and that's completely normal. The body is not completely balanced out, so it depends if you're right-handed, left-handed, whatever side of your body is more prominent. Just accept it and don't worry, with time it'll get easier. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release that foot, don't slap it to the ground. Come on up to your hands. Walk that foot back between the palms and let's send our hips back behind us. For another stretch here on the hamstring. Stay up lightly on the fingertips so everything is more into the legs. No pressure on the hands really. You can even place your hands down onto the ground. Keep the toes engaged up towards the sky. Exhale, fold, touch the head to the shin if possible. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. One more time, exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Now point the toes of the left side. Extend that foot. We're going to do the same thing again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. One more time, exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Now we're going to attempt our split. Place your hands onto the ground, lift up through the back knee, take that really wide stance with the legs, or you can walk that back leg a little closer, grab your block or your prop, whatever you've got, place it where that left hip is going to land. And we're going to very slowly start to allow the feet to go a little further apart from each other. Come up onto that left heel and just let everything slide down until you land onto your prop. Elevate your hips as much as needed and try to keep your hips squared with the front of the mat. This is really important for the split, guys. Stay up on the fingertips if you need to. Keep the spine nice and long. You should really be feeling this in the psoas here on the right side and at the back of the hamstrings on the left. If you have the flexibility, start to lean over this left leg. Perhaps you can even come down to your forearms and bring your head to the shin. Don't worry if this is not possible just yet. With time you may get there. Keep your inhales and your exhales nice and long. You can even play around with pointing the toes on the left and then extending them to the sky. Now walk your hands back towards the body and we're going to play around with that back foot. If you can lift it off the ground, use your strap to pull it towards you, or use your hands and get it a little closer towards the body, giving it a good old stretch. Hopefully to help us get back into the split. And release. You can play around here as long as you like, or just sit in it, allowing the body to open. Otherwise, lift up with the hands and start to slide that front foot a little forward. Jump the back foot slightly forward as well, so that you've got nice strong legs. Let's remove that prop out the way. And we're going to come down for our full split, if possible. If it's not possible today, don't even attempt it. You can stay on the hands if you can't come all the way down. See how the body is. I'm definitely tighter on this left side. Not even sure I can come all the way down today. So I'm going to stay up on my fingertips. So this is where you've got to listen to your body and don't allow that ego to think, oh, but I can't, I want to go down. That's when you hurt yourself. If you can bend over that front knee and you can always play around on this as long as you like. I'm going to start to come out of it. Untuck or tuck the toes at the back, plant your palms nice and strong. Start to lift up using your core, bringing that front foot towards the body. Walk the hands a little closer forward, step that back foot a little back, sliding that front foot a little forward again, a little back. Back in for this hamstring stretch. Now, let's bend that front knee and come up for our high lunge. So inhale the hands to the sky. Look up. Exhale down, plant the palms on the ground. Step back to your plank. This is our last plank and chaturanga of the day. Do your best. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Meet you there. Give your legs a little work. Walk them out. And then drop the knees down to the ground. You may feel that the hips are a little tender after all of that stretching. So we're going to finish off with some counter poses for that today. Let's come in for our butterfly pose. We're going to bring our heels to meet each other. Bring the heels as close to the body as possible. Allow the knees to fall open. If you've got very tight hips, your knees may be up here, and that's okay. With time, they'll come down. If your knees are very high, just hold on to the toes, lean forward, close your eyes and enjoy that. If you have the flexibility, we're going to start to come forward. Allow the sit bones to continue to stay on the ground, and maybe you can bring your forearms down to the floor. If they open up enough for you, perhaps you can take your forehead to the floor. Just be wherever you are, allowing everything to be nice and open. It's a very passive stretch. It's giving in to gravity. Maybe you want to move, do slight little movements from side to side. That may feel good as well for your lower spine. So just start to slowly sway from one direction to the other, only if it feels right, otherwise stay still. And then become still when you're ready, and we're going to take 3 ready deep inhales and exhales, in and out of the nose. And release it, everybody. Walk your hands up. Bring your knees to meet each other. Give them a little squeeze to the body. And we're going to come down for our final resting pose now. I hope this video has helped you. I hope that you can continue to return to the video until eventually you have those splits. As you can see, even me, after all these years, I still struggle a little with the splits, so please don't beat yourself up about it. Bring your toes together, knees bent. Let's very slowly start to roll down onto the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, tucking the tailbone, and just roll all the way down. Feels lovely after all that. Tuck the shoulder blades under the body, hands, palms facing to the sky, hands relaxed. Extend through the legs. Legs should be a little wider than your hips. Hands a couple of inches away from the body. Close your eyes, facing up to the sky. I'm going to join you just for a couple of minutes, but you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Allow everything to be really, really heavy, sinking into the ground. And if your mind starts to wander at all, then bring your attention straight back to the breath and straight back into the sensations of the body. Imagine your thoughts are little cloud bubbles passing by. Take the silence and enjoy. You can stay here as long as you like, but for those of you that are ready to close your practice, start to wiggle the fingertips and the toes, and then start to rotate the wrists and the ankles, and then change direction, keeping the eyes closed still. Let's inhale the hands above the head and stretch the whole body as if you're waking up first thing in the morning. Release out the mouth, and let's very slowly start to turn over onto one side of the body, keeping the eyes closed. Take a nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, push yourself up into a seat, any seat of your choice, with your eyes closed. Take your hands to your heart center Rub your palms together, create a nice warm friction between the palms. Take a deep breath in and place those warm palms over the eyes. Behind those palms, bat the eyes open a couple of times. And then remove the palms from the eyes, keeping the eyes closed. Hands to your heart center, bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up today, and also thank your body and honor it for everything it's done for you today. Whatever it is you managed to achieve, you still did an incredible job. Just keep at it. Namaste, everybody. I really hope this has been a helpful class for you. If you managed to do the splits, I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. And also feel free to maybe share some pictures with me on Instagram. Just tag #YogaCandi. I'd love to see some progression pictures from you guys. How you getting on with your splits? Is this video helping you? Or are you getting closer? And if you would like to find me on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, just look for YogaCandi and go to yogacandi.com if you would like to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. Then you'll never miss a thing. So everybody, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Until next time, namaste.